And then Oakland came up with a winner. Out in right field, Mike Davis puts this away, and Gary Ward is retired.
Number 23, Don Mattingly, first base.
So 2 quick outs here in the first inning, and here's Don Mattingly hitting at .334. 3 for 7 in this series. Has 4 home runs in his last 8 ball games.
One of the things about Stewart this season, as opposed to the past, is he seems to be in complete control. As there's a ground ball in the hole, Griffin will have no chance right there. Alfredo has played so well for Oakland since coming over from Toronto. But Stewart is within himself now. He seems to be not trying to overpower anybody, except on certain pitches, certain counts when he will rear back and get an extra 1.5 feet. There's just an infield hit. In the past, though, Stewart, all you could see out there was fanny, legs, elbows, arms, and there was a sense of urgency about him. He tried to get the game over with 1 pitch, every pitch, each time.
And each pitch was heat. And now he's turned that around. Pagliarulo takes the ball. This year, Stewart started off in mediocre fashion. He was 7-7 at one point, so he's won 10 of his last 11 decisions. Mike Pagliarulo. Lou Piniella says, my best player since the All-Star break. 29 home runs, 70 RBIs. Takes the ball. Talked about the men in blue here today. There is a sea of blue, primarily in the upper deck. Sacramento wants baseball. And 21,000 people in the stands today from the state capital of California. Swinging strike, 1 and 2. That's not Dodger blue. They want that to be Sacramento blue. Their basketball team does.
They're
pretty
into
well.
it. I'll tell you, what a festive atmosphere. As there's a good high heater right there from Stewart. Just breeze that one right on by Pags. But getting back to what Lou had said about Pags, there's no question about it. Pags has been the stalwart, so to speak, at the plate, and also he has thrown some leather.
Played excellently in the field. He laid off on that one. I remember 3 years ago, Hawk, Pax came up as a regular for the Yankees. We look at third base umpire Don Denkinger and made a comment. I could see him hitting 20 home runs and 80 RBIs. A couple of people kind of looked at me strangely. He's going to do a lot better than that. Guess maybe that's why they're looking at me strangely.
Probably.
High and deep to right field, but playable as Davis drifts back. The Yankees are down here in the top half of the first inning. No runs, an infield hit by Mattingly. New York leaves 1 through half an inning. Yankees nothing. Oakland's coming to bat.
34-year-old right-hander Rick Rhoden making his warm-up tosses, also making his 26th start of the year. This will be his first appearance against Oakland. As we mentioned, no decision in his last start against Seattle. And Rick, of course, nursing a very sore area right above the bicep, just below the shoulder, where he was hit by a line drive. Harold Reynolds hit one right back through the middle. They got a double play out of it. Rick said it is just a little bit tender, but he'll be all right. So Rhoden coming in with that mark of 14-8, 3.75 ERA. And here's where the Yankees will line up defensively. In the outfield, it'll be Gary Ward in left, Claudell Washington in center, Dave Winfield in right. Around the horn, Mattingly at first, Meacham at second, Velarde the shortstop, Pagliarulo at third, and a battery of Cerrone and Rhoden. This is the 9th meeting of the season between these two ball clubs, and the Yankees have had a tough time with the A's. They are 2-6 thus far.
Recent years, it have been very tough for the Yankees, particularly here in Oakland, California.
And checking the scoreboard up there, Tigers leading Cleveland 4-3. That game now in the 9th inning. And they're just getting underway down at the Big A in Anaheim. That's the Blue Jays and the Angels. Other scores, as far as the A's go, they're very happy as the Red Sox defeated Minnesota 6-4. And Kansas City at Milwaukee in the 5th inning. Game tied at 4. We'll try to find out.
I got it.
What happened?
Just passed it on to me. The story within the story. Paul Molitor 0 for 2 thus far. Game in the 5th inning, as you mentioned.
For some reason, that's really been a nice thing to watch. I mean, exciting, you know.
Sure.
Something to look forward to every day and see what's going on.
We're figuring it out. If he should continue it, When Milwaukee comes to the stadium in September, that could be game number 57, the opening game of that series.
No, you wouldn't want to bet on that one, would you?
No.
I'll take it.
Which side do you want me to bet on? That's the whole thing.
I'll take it won't be there.
I want the DiMaggio side. Tony Bernazard at the plate. Takes ball one. Bernazard hitting .355 here in Oakland.
Look at
What
this
a
play.
stop by Pagliarulo. One man out.
The funny thing right there was that Pags was not really set. And that is a tough play, as it's the toughest play for the first baseman from the right-handed hitter. It's the toughest play for the third baseman from the left-handed hitter. Pags was still getting set just a little bit. All of a sudden, Bernazard smashes it, literally catches a ball behind him. What a play by... Wow, has he been throwing some leather.
One man out. Bernazard retired. Mike Pagliarulo down at third base, and here's Mike Davis at the plate, hitting .267, but he has struggled since the All-Star break. Only 14 hits in his last 79 at-bats. Ball one. Hayes with Dwayne Murphy back now in center field. Defensively, very improved. Claudel Washington out at center field, and there are two men out. Rick Rhoden, over his last 4 starts, not the Rhoden of earlier in the year. He's given up 40 hits in 27 innings. And here is Jose Canseco.
It's pretty easy to figure out why. He has not had the good command of the curveball. And when he doesn't have that, then at that point, guys will sit on that fastball. He can't go deep in the counts like he's been.
This one is high, but playable for Washington. And Jose Canseco, who has been red hot, is retired. And Rick Rhoden has himself an easy 1, 2, 3 inning. Nothing across. We played one. Yanks nothing. Athletics nothing. Well, second inning. And you see the fans seated up there in blue. It says March on Baseball for Sacramento. They bought 21,000 seats for today's ball game. And a little note to Mr. Uberot. Sacramento wants baseball. And they're waving away. Sellout crowd here. Partially thanks to Sacramento. Partially thanks to the Yankees. And partially thanks to the fact that the A's are in a pennant race.
The A's 3 games over 500, 63 and 60. As we mentioned, Minnesota lost today, so as it stands right now, just a game and a half back of the Twins. Twins still having a whole bunch of problems on the road.
It's incredible the numbers they put together at home compared to the road numbers. Minnesota now 24 and 42 on the road. They're 42 and 18 at home. Their home field is a little bit different than most folks' home field. Dave Winfield to lead it off against Stewart. Popped up. What you call a major league pop-up. And the shortstop Griffin puts it away. Winfield had 3 base hits yesterday and 4 at-bats to snap an 0 for 18 streak. Here's Mike Easler. Getting shut out yesterday. That was the 10th time this year the Yankees have been shut out.
One of the things about trying to attack or go about getting to Dave Stewart is you better be sitting on that fastball. Dave has had good control this year. That has not been a problem with him whatsoever. As a matter of fact, he's worked in 188 innings, has 159 strikeouts, 77 walks, and he has been on top in the count. So if he throws the fastball, you better be able to do something with it. And on the other side of that coin, if he comes with a split-fingered fastball or the curveball, at that point, then if he's getting all 3 of them over, you're in for a long day anyway.
A lot of trouble. 1-1. And Easler takes strike 2 call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, we get further word. Paul Molitor in his 3rd at bat at Milwaukee. Undoubtedly another great crowd on hand to see it. Comes up with a base hit. Number 38. The consecutive game hitting streak now. Passing Tommy Holmes. Inside for a ball. 2-2.
And they're leading that game in the 6th inning 5-4. So evidently that was also an RBI single.
And in case both folks haven't looked lately, you know, the Brewers only 7 behind coming into play today. Mark McGwire at first base takes it unassisted. And there are 2 men out here in the second.
I believe there are 8. Let's check it out right here. Yeah, 8 behind.
8, excuse me.
Yeah.
The batter, number 28,
They
Randy
will remain at least 8, with Detroit having won today. Or Detroit leading in the 9th inning, 4-3. Should Detroit hold on and win. 2 men out. The rookie shortstop, Randy Velarde, steps in. He's 2 for 11 with an RBI. He's also committed 3 errors. One of them yesterday cost the Yanks a couple of runs. Takes a strike. As you said prior to the start of the ball game, not knocking this youngster, but up the middle. The Yankees just not strong right now. Not the way they would like to be.
No, when you're missing your second baseman and your shortstop, Randolph and Tolleson right there, you're going to hurt. And there's no question about it. And it's not so much the errors of commission. A lot of times it's the errors of omission. The little plays, the little things that are not done that it takes to. Like the other night, a double play that should have been turned. It wasn't.
Velarde was hitting .319 at Columbus. But a breaking ball misses. 1-2. Yankee captain Willie Randolph seated on the bench. Where Lou Piniella and Willie Randolph would not like him to be. Barney Lansford at third. He'll have to hurry this throw. Velarde gets down the line just in time. Stump Merrill doesn't believe it. Lou Piniella isn't crazy about it either. And he'll come out and argue this one as the Yankees go down 1, 2, and 3 here in the top half of the second inning. What do you think at home? Bottom of the second inning, Lou Piniella, Stump Merrill. The discussion with first base umpire Larry McCoy concluded. And we'll take another look at it right here on Velarde's ground ball.
Well, you can see Velarde has decent speed, and it's going to be close as Carney had to lay back for it. And then with the underhand throw, trying to get rid of it very quickly. Very close play. Either way.
Yeah.
I tell you, when it happened up here, I thought they had it.
They didn't. It was close. 2 minutes. Bottom of the second now. No score. And Mark McGwire will step in. He has handled the pressure well, but it has had an effect on him. He's hitting .280. 39 home runs. The rookie record. I'll tell you one person he's helped. He's helped Jose Canseco. Taking a lot of heat off Canseco. A lot of pressure off Canseco.
It's taking a lot of pressure off a lot of guys over here. Anytime you get a rookie that's struggling to make a ball club in spring training, all of a sudden he makes it. The next thing you know, he's sitting on 39 home runs here on August 23rd. That's going to help a little bit. It's going to take a lot of heat off a lot of offense.
A good, smooth, even stroke. 0-2. Strike 3. Check. So McGwire goes down, striking out for the 99th time this season.
All batting, number 21.
Here's just a high
Murphy.
fastball by Roden that McGwire cannot get on top of. Just above belt high and just underneath it.
Nice swing, huh?
Oh, he's got a beautiful swing.
Roden's first strikeout. 1 man out. We're in the second. No score. Dwayne Murphy.
As we talked about earlier in the season, he's got one of the best left-sided moves through the ball you ever want to see a right-handed hitter have, as his teammate, the guy hits right in front of him, Canseco, has one of the best right-sided moves you want to see through the ball.
1 ball, 1 strike. Murphy playing only his 47th game this year. Disabled a couple of times. Luis Polonia filled in ably, particularly on the offense, but the A's are happy to have Murphy's glove back in the lineup. He seems to be getting a little more patient at the plate also. He's walked 20 times in his last 16 ball games. Strike 3. Another bit of high heat.
Well, there's a pitch right there that Murph, throughout his whole career, has been his bane, so to speak. He has had trouble laying off the high fastball up on top of the strike zone. He's a good fastball hitter, but it's got to be lower. And that's one pitch he has never been able to lay off of.
And Roden has a second straight strikeout. lending further credence to the Harrelson theory of left-handers being unable to get on top of the high fastball.
No, it's just that mine is 100 and something years old. That's all.
Carney Lansford takes ball one. It's a nice man to have batting behind the likes of Canseco and McGuire. Yesterday they batted him fifth. It's kind of tough to pitch around those two guys.
He's a tough out. That's what makes Carney so dangerous. He's just a very extremely, especially in big situations in a ball game. He's just a battler up there. And he has led this league in hitting when he was with the Red Sox.
By the way, I think you're going to be challenged to a golf game right now. Take a look behind. No, the other way. There's Pal Giroulo at third base. And he throws out Carney Lansford to retire the son. Bill Rickney up to say hello. We play 2 innings here in Oakland, California at the Alameda County Coliseum. There's no score. Spencer Ross, Ken Harrelson back here in Oakland, California. We're going to the 3rd inning. Nary a cloud in the sky. What a beautiful afternoon. Scoreless ball game. Yankees have a base hit. Oakland's been set down 6 in a row by Rick Rhoden. And Rick Cerone to lead it off here for the Yankees against Dave Stewart. Foul back for a strike. Yankees head to Anaheim following the ball game. Tommy John will pitch against Don Sutton tomorrow. Tommy started a ball game in Seattle. Pitched an inning and just felt miserably sick to his stomach. Charles Hudson came out and pitched shutout ball the rest of the way. Good breaking ball for a strike.
And if you hear some noise in the background, I'll tell you what, I've been broadcasting a long time. This is absolutely, I think, the worst conditions I've ever had to sit in. They got us stuck up here in a booth. They got all kinds of people and fans behind us, around us.
College radio time. Base hit for Rick Cerone. They got two nice young men sitting behind him.
Well, that's true.
Their son Casey here, my son Stephen.
There's the fastball, and Rick just put a nice little quick short stroke on it. On top of it very nicely. Hit that hard sinker out there in the left field.
Cerone's second base hit in this series. Rick has really hit the ball well over the last couple of months. Bobby Meacham. Start calling him downtown Bobby Meacham. 4 home runs for Meacham this year. And they've come in his last 48 at-bats. He hit 3 in his previous 1,096 at-bats. There's a ball. Meacham overall hitting a .245. Lansford's in on the grass, but Meacham giving no indication he's about to lay one down, and the count goes 2-0. Foul back. That'll go out of play. And it takes a bit to hit the ball out of play here in Oakland. Power a singles hitter. We're just plain hitter. I don't know if I want to hit here. It's got to take 15, 20 points off your back.
It'll take some. There's no question with all the foul territory. That's one reason Lansford is such a good player for this ball club. With his speed at third base, his quickness, he can catch a lot of pop-ups. The corners here, this has been one of the clubs over the years that really gone unnoticed a lot. The corners here have been very important for Oakland because of having some quickness over there. Now, they haven't had a whole bunch in the past. But McGuire, well, he's not a speed demon over there by any means, but Lansford makes up for a lot of it over in the third base area. Boy, that's a big thing, too. When you get 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, all of a sudden some strong hitter pops one up over there that in most ballparks would be out of play. When that third baseman or the first baseman can go over and make that catch. Take you right out of the inning.
2 balls, 2 strikes here to Meacham. No score in the top of the 3rd inning. Cerrone aboard, nobody out. Ooh, Bobby got hit. 2-2 fastball that just got away. And the Yankees have the first legitimate threat of this ball game. First runner in scoring position.
Well, David is not averse to throwing a high and inside, but right here, there's just no question about it. He was not trying to do anything with Bobby Meacham except maybe strike him out on a high fastball. Spencer mentioned that would just get away from him. No way in the world he was trying to even come close to it.
5th time this year he has hit a batter.
Oh, he'll pitch a high neck in.
Well, here's Thorndell Washington with runners at 1st and 2nd. Lansford again comes in at the grass. McGuire's playing back at first base. Ball 1. Washington bounced to 2nd in his first at bat. Routine ground ball to Bernazard. In for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stewart had a great July. Here in August, he's 4-1. And a pitch foul at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He beat the Yankees a ball game here last August, and at that point he improved his record to 9-1. Rocked in the right field. That's going to be up the gap, heading for the wall, and off the base of the wall. Rounding 3rd, coming out of the score, Cerrone. Meacham's following in. The ball is bobbled on a relay, and 2 runs are in, and the Yankees take a 2-0 lead.
Makes a mistake right here. Gets the off-speed pitch up high. And Claudiel didn't miss it. He just hits a bullet out there into the gap. 15th double. He now has 39 ribbies.
And the Yankees have taken the lead. Yanks lost the opener of the series 6-4 yesterday afternoon, 6-0. And here they've taken a 2-0 lead. Here's Wood. Late on that one, strike 1.
Well, he was trying to go the right side off Stewart, who came at him with some good gas right there.
Think your knuckles off. Strike 2, 0-2. Ward's job to try and get Washington over to 3rd. And he's in the hole, 0-2.
You'd think that Gary Ward would be the perfect man, the way he could move the ball to the opposite field. A lot of times, though, guys who are right field hitters have problems getting that man over when they try. Seems like they over-exaggerated just a shade. The ball gets by him, and right here he just comes with an 0-2 fastball up and inside a little bit, and you can see he just takes Gary's arms right out of the swing. He had no chance.
Instead of doing what comes naturally.
Exactly.
Like Yogi said, can't hit and think. Just get up there and swing it. 1 man out. Here's Mattingly with Washington still down at 2nd. Yankee first baseman had the Yankees first base hit of the ball game. An infield hit to short back in the 1st inning. 2-0 New York here in the 3rd inning.
High fastball from Stewart. A little surprised right there as Mattingly can get on top of that high heat. A little surprised that he gave him something this. What's the location right here? surprised he gave him something in that area that good to hit in this spot.
That's fouled away. The count goes 1-2. That base hit on the first inning. Mattingly now hitting .336, second in the American League. Lou Piniello's Yankees have jumped out in front 2-0 here in the third inning.
And the Tigers indeed defeated Cleveland 4-3.
So the Yankees need a win to remain 4 behind. And Toronto's already moved out in front of California 1-0 in the second. Strike 3.
Like done in between right here. He approached this one like he was looking for the local, and there he just catches a good fastball from Stewart, and a good spot.
Well, Stewart bearing down after the Yankees put 2 on the board, striking out Ward and Mattingly, and here's Pagliarulo. Packs fly deep to right in this first at bat. Strike 1. The other big story in baseball, in case you joined us late, Paul Molitor with a base hit in his third at bat in the 5th inning to extend his consecutive game hitting streak to 38. And Milwaukee is all tied now with Kansas City in the 6th inning at 5 apiece. Foul back.
Pretty good hack right there by Pags. He just missed that first one back in the first inning. Stewart hung him a split-fingered fastball, and he was just underneath it.
Put Davis back nearly to the warning track in right center field. 0-2 to Pagliarulo. And Stewart strikes out the side. That's the good news for Oakland. The good news for New York. They come up with 2 runs on 2 base hits. They leave 1. They'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's the Yankees 2, the Oakland A's nothing. Back here in Oakland, California. And you're going to tell the folks the good news?
It's 2-0. Bottom of the 3rd inning. And a reminder, this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Yankees and Sports Channel is prohibited.
Bottom of the 3rd inning. Yankees 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. It's bat day here in Oakland, California. Youngsters receiving bats, and about every section you look in, you're going to find blue T-shirts. The folks from Sacramento trying to get themselves a baseball team. Coming out 21,000 strong. Like to have that T-shirt concession, I'll tell you. And the hats. And the towels.
Reggie Jackson, designated hitter.
Well, they're getting their message in. Here's Reggie Jackson. Rick Rhoden has retired 6 in a row. We move to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Reggie hitting only a .210, but he has 15 home runs. 563 for his career. 6th on the all-time list. And that is undoubtedly where he will finish, unless he finishes with a flourish, because he needs 10 more to pass Harmon Killebrew. 2-0. Reggie finishing up his career where it all got started, in Oakland, California, with the A's.
It actually got started in Kansas City
yeah.
with the A's. They moved out here in 1968 as he takes a fastball strike, and the count now 2-1.
Great years with the Yankees. Out to Anaheim and the Angels, and back here to Oakland. At the outside corner, 2-2.
Another fastball from Rhoden. If anything, just catching the outside edge of the outside corner.
If anything. 2-2. Fouled away. The count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rhodes keeping the ball away from Reginald Martinez Jackson.
Boy, this is a nice park to hit it. 330 down each line, 375 in the power alleys, 400 straightaway center field, short fence.
Ball carried pretty well here.
In the daytime especially. Ball carries good everywhere now. I don't think there's a bad hitter's park with this baseball.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Reggie Jackson. Nobody out. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Yankees. Nothing across for Oakland as Rhodes has set down 6 in a row. Count goes full, 3-2. This one's popped foul. It's going to drift back into the crowd. Rick Rhoden looking for his 15th victory of the year. Up against the pitcher who's won 17. And a full count to Jackson, who has 2 hits and 12 at-bats against the Yankees this year. Missed outside. Ball 4. Rhoden wanted that one. And you can kind of get an idea of how much he did by the look on his face.
Rick, for the most part, very stoic out on the mound, but right here he comes with the fastball, and he asked Dale Scott where it was. He said it was outside.
So Jackson aboard. A's first base runner. Switch hitting catcher Mickey Tettleton steps in, hitting at .212. There's a strike, 0-1. Yankees 4 games behind, actually 4.5 behind Detroit now, with the Tigers beating Cleveland 4-3. Very important ball game for the New York team.
When you got 39 games left in the schedule, counting this one, you're 4 games back. Every game is important. Every one of them.
You do not want to fall 5 behind. There is a point of no return mentally, I guess, as much as mathematically in a ball club's mind. Up high for a ball, 1-2. Go out there and win the ball game you play it. Of course, you do a little scoreboard watching. 4-3, Detroit over Cleveland. Toronto leading California 1-0 in the 3rd. Strike 3 call. It's a hit in and over.
Curveball. Took a little something off of it. I think Tettleton thought it may have been a shade high. But because of the speed, drops in and over, and Scott stayed with it. At least from Rhoden's standpoint.
3rd strikeout for the Yankee right-hander. 1 man out. Alfredo Griffin, the slick fielding shortstop, who's sitting at .270. He has 51 RBIs. He has more than half of them since the All-Star break. Bottom dropped out of that pitch, too.
There's the big pitch for Rhoden, the curveball. Because when he has good command of it, he can change speeds with it. And at that point, he just opens up a much larger strike zone in the mind of the hitter.
That jammed and hit it right to the shortstop, Velarde. And an easy double play, doubling up Reggie Jackson at first base. Bad base running mistake by Jackson. The A's go down here in the bottom of the third inning. No runs. There was a walk. Nobody left through 3. Yankees 2, Oakland nothing. Well, we go to the 4th inning here. Tony La Russa playing a little hit and run to finish up that 3rd inning, and Reggie Jackson off right here. And doubled up easily on the soft line drive, hit right to the shortstop, Randy Velarde. Nothing Reggie could do about it as he was off before the pitch.
Try to put a little hit and run on right there, and it didn't work.
We want Ricky.
They're right there. They got that right for sure.
The Yankees need Ricky. There's no doubt about that. Henderson still hobbling, and the Yankees still struggling. 4 games behind coming into play today, but they lead it this afternoon by a score of 2-0. As we move to the 4th inning. Yankee runs coming in the 3rd. A single by Cerrone. Meacham hit by a pitch, and Washington cracked one off the right center field wall to score both Cerrone and Meacham. Stewart bearing down after that with Washington at second. He struck out Ward, Mattingly, and Pagliarulo. And Dave Winfield to lead it off for the Yankees. Winfield, Eastler, and the shortstop, Randy Velarde.
After the 2-run double by Washington, Stewart just reached back a little bit more. He added another 6 inches on that fastball. I think it shocked, for the most part, Ward, Mattingly, and Pags.
Winfield popped up to short in his first at bat. Breaking ball misses, ball 1. Tommy John against Don Sutton tomorrow, and then Dennis Rasmussen against John Candelaria on Tuesday. Two and 1. Winfield and Murphy, he gets there. Covers a lot of ground as the speedy Oakland center fielder, the recipient of numerous gold gloves, and he shows why right there.
When Murph is operating as he hits a low fastball, Winfield hits it hard into right center field. There's just not too many guys out there playing that position that get a better jump. But on the other side of that page, seen Murph, especially last year and the year before that even, he was not the same Dwayne Murphy we had seen in the past out there. But we mentioned when he's healthy and he's operating right, he does indeed throw some leather in center field.
And he takes a base hit away from Winfield there. First pitch to Mike Eastler, strike 1. Eastler bounced out to the first baseman McGuire. This time he'll bounce out to the second baseman Bernazard. There are 2 outs here in the 4th. Tony Bernazard. Tony La Russa said about Bernazard that he is the smartest player who has ever played for him. With 2 men out, Randy Velarde steps in. Called out on a disputed play at first base when he hit a lazy ground ball to Carney Lansford at third. Lansford hurried his throw, and according to first base umpire Larry McCoy, Velarde out by half a step. Strike 1. Check swing grounded. This one could be close. Griffin makes it not so close. He is slick. Yankees go down 1-2-3 here in the 4th inning. We played 3.5. New York 2, Oakland nothing.
Thursday, the Yankees return home to open a 4-game series against the Seattle Mariners. The Yankee-Mariners series is highlighted by 2 great giveaway days. On Thursday afternoon, game time is 1, and all youngsters 14 and under at their stadium will receive a Yankee clipboard. That'll be compliments of M&M's chocolate candies. And on Saturday night, the Yankees host the Mariners at 7:30, and all fans at the stadium will receive a Yankee team photo mug, compliments of Starcom. Tickets for all Yankee home games are on sale at the stadium 7 days a week from 9 to 5 or through Ticketmaster. So for more information, just dial 212-293-6000.
Ricky Henderson looking on in civilian clothing from behind home plate here in Oakland, California. Yankees would like him to be in uniform. They need Ricky Henderson. They also need this gentleman who's in uniform today, Willie Randolph, the Yankee co-captain, trying to come back from that knee injury. And still in some pain.
Yep. Talking to Willie prior to the game, said maybe he tried to get back just a little too quick, but he felt so good. Maybe overextended it just a shade. Now there's a little pain in the back of the knee.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Tony Bernazard will lead it off. Rick Rhoden has retired 9 in a row. At least he has faced the minimum 9. He walked Jackson to lead off the 3rd inning. Reggie retired when Griffith lined into a 6-6-3 double play with the A's playing hit and run. Closest to a base hit the A's have had. This gentleman here, Bernazard, with a hard smash to Pagliarulo. He gloved beautifully with a stab to his left and threw him out. One and one.
Nice change right there by Rhoden. Bernazard, good fastball hitter from both sides of the plate. And we were talking about Carney last week. Here's another tough little out.
Back on June 1st, Bernazard was hitting .201. Since then, .320. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Hitting .353 in an Oakland uniform.
Count goes 2-2. Thus far, Rick Rhoden has looked like the Rick Rhoden prior to his last 4 starts. He's getting that breaking ball in.
That's the key.
Something he had problems over the last 3 or 4. There's strike 3. 4th strikeout for Rhoden.
When he gets a curveball over, everybody's sitting over there in that dugout, on deck circle, or at the plate. All of a sudden, they start thinking to themselves, well, I'm going to have to sit on that one. And then he'll change speeds on it, so it makes it doubly difficult to get a good beat on it. Then when he does come with a high fastball, at that point, when Rhoden gets his curveball over and changes speeds with it, he's a premier right-hander, one of the premier right-handers in this league.
Mike Davis takes a strike. As we said, his last 4 starts, the real indication has been the amount of base hits he has given up and the amount of innings pitched, 40 in his last 27. 0-2. Rhoden's the kind of pitcher, though, on even those off days, he has the, if you want to use that cliche, the guile, the cunning, or whatever, to get by and finesse his way to a win. On days like today, he'll break bats in people's hands.
But the key is, even on the off days, he still has to have some semblance of command with the curveball. That's a big pitch in his repertoire. It just sets everything else up. On the days when he goes out there and he gets his behind beat, it's because he's getting deep in the count, he's missing with a curveball, has to come with a fastball, and he's not overpowering.
Right here, he's got the first 2 outs in the 4th with the dangerous Jose Canseco, who fly to center field in his first at bat. Canseco with 39 ribbies in his last 36 ball games. Total of 94 for the season.
Going to some new lumber. A heavy one, 38 ounces. I like to see big, strong guys use those heavier bats. you take a look at it, you're not going to hit the ball as far. But as strong as he is, or as strong as the strong guys are, how far you got to hit it? But what you do find yourself when you're using a heavier bat is you find you can get the ball through the infield quicker.
What's the heaviest you ever used?
40.
You did use a
I
40?
use anywhere from 35 to 40 ounces most of the time. But you find yourself getting the ball through the infield quicker. So you get a man on second or a man on third, situation like that. And even the pop-ups, the ones that might be in between as far as knocking the man in on third base with less than 2 out, for some reason the ball carries just a little bit further with a heavier bat.
3 balls, 1 strike.
But you cannot hit it as far distance-wise as you can with, say, a 32 or 33 ouncer. Because the bat speed is just not quite there.
Cammed him inside, strike 2, 3 and 2.
The heaviness of the bat, though, is determined by the mental posture, the frame of mind you're in. If you got to go to the plate and you're thinking, well, I'm using a 36 or a 37 or a 38 ounce bat, then it's too heavy for you. If the weight ever pops in your mind, it's too heavy. You got to go get something else a little lighter.
Got to feel comfortable.
That's it. Mentally, well, you don't even think about it.
Full count to Canseco, who pops this one up into short center field. Claudell Washington. And the A's go quietly once again. 1-2-3 here in the 4th inning. Nothing across. We played 4. It's the Yankees 2, Oakland nothing.
It's the top of the 5th inning. Yankees lead it 2-0 right now. We'll check some American League scores for you. The final from Fenway Park. Red Sox defeated Minnesota 6-4. The winner Sellers, the loser Carlton, and Wes Gardner is 6th save. A lot of home runs in that ball game. Gaetti number 27, Smalley number 8, Herbeck number 31, Baylor number 16. That was a grand slammer. And Dwight Evans his 29th. Detroit beat Cleveland 4-3. Morris the winner 15-6. Candiati the loser 6-13. Gibson hit his 18th home run in that ball game when the Tigers scored all 4 in the 3rd inning.
Rick Cerone leads it off here for the Yankees as we play the 5th. Yankees lead it by a score of 2-0.
After 6 at County Stadium, 7-5. Milwaukee leading Kansas City. Lee Branton Stoddard on the mound for the Royals. Chris Bosio for the Brewers as Cerone checks it up. And the count 1-1. After 3 innings down at the Big A in Anaheim, Blue Jays leading the Angels 1-0. Lloyd Mosby has cranked out number 21 in that ball game. Dave Steve on the mound for Toronto. Kirk McCaskill for California. No score after 2, Baltimore at Seattle. And later on tonight, Chicago takes on the Rangers down in Texas.
Line foul by Cerone right into the Oakland bullpen. A little dangerous out there, and a good stamp out there by Greg Conrad.
Cerone doing some turning on that Stewart fastball as he did the first time up. Single sharply into left field.
Cerone came on to score the Yankees' first run after Meacham was hit by a pitch. Washington doubled them both home. For the breaking ball, looped into right center. Murphy, 1 out.
Over in the National League, check some scores for you there. At Shea Stadium, Mets beat the Padres 9-2. The winner Gooden 11-4. Nolte, the loser, is 1-2. McDowell is 18th save. Howard Johnson hit his 31st. Darryl Strawberry hit his 31st. Booker and Davis both homered for San Diego. So it says here on the scorecard.
Bobby Meacham, a little shallower than the last one, and this one drops in for a base hit. Murphy couldn't get it, nor could Davis. That snaps a streak of 7 in a row for Dave Stewart as Meacham has himself a base hit. In on Meacham's hand. Just looped out into right center field. Bernazard went out. Nobody could come up with it. Perfect tweener, and the Yankees have a base run.
Other scores in the National League. San Francisco beat Montreal 5-3. It was the Dodgers over the Phillies 5-1. Atlanta beat Pittsburgh. That is 6-2. It's down at Fulton County Stadium in Georgia. And in the bottom of the 9th inning, 4-2. Houston leading the Cubs. That's at Wrigley Field. Ryan on the mound for the Astros. Sutcliffe started for the Cubbies. And St. Louis just hammering Cincinnati. That score 11-3. That's in the bottom of the 7th. And Cincinnati. Cox against Gullickson in that game.
Right here, 2-0 Yankees. Washington, who drove home both the Yankee runs with that double that hit off the base of the right center field wall. Beecham at the plate. Paul Molitor story again in that Milwaukee game. A base hit in his 3rd at bat. 38 consecutive ball games. And a strike to Washington. Beecham close. Bobby stolen 2 bases. One and one. Game winner Dave Stewart. Looking for his 3rd lifetime win against the Yankees. Nothing like a ballpark on a Sunday afternoon and a beautiful day and just chock full of spectators. Nary a seat in the house today. 1-2. I'm just laughing. We have only Sacramento people here. One of those light planes flew overhead, usually advertising a pub or something. And a political advertisement for a man running for mayor of Sacramento. That's clever. I'm not going to mention his name, but that's cute. One and two. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Washington. Stewart, be careful with Claudel. Yankees have only 4 base hits, but Oakland is still looking for its first. And we're in the 5th inning.
Leaning a little bit towards second base right there. Stewart's move is not as quick as it used to be. Boy, he had, for a while there, as you see Bobby breaking it down towards second. That's to Scurry. He looked like he was off and running. Stewart used to have some of the quickest feet on that move over to first base. Now he's very much more deliberate.
Yeah, he doesn't spin him around quite as quickly.
The way he's been pitching, really hadn't had to worry about it too much.
He had too many men over first base to worry about.
17 and 8. On 10 out of his last 11 decisions.
2-2 the count to Claudel Washington. And he pops this one foul out of play. Stewart slowed his game down right here with Beecham aboard and 1 man out of the 5th inning. He was moving along. After the Washington double, he retired 7 in a row. He got him, and Beecham's off and running, and he is in under the tag. Tettleton's throw off high. A good one might have gotten him. Washington is retired, and Beecham's down in scoring position.
Tettleton took a long time in getting rid of it. Plus made the bad throw as there's a fastball low and away. You can see right there Mickey taking a big wind up, turns it loose high, and with that, and you're so right. Decent throw right there with a decent unloading to second base. They get him.
Instead, Meacham has his third stolen base. He's in scoring position with 2 men out for Gary Ward, who was flied to right and struck out swinging.
Alfredo coming in behind Meacham in second, and then all of a sudden holding his gloves, telling Stewart to back off. You got to tell a lot of those pitchers that today. If you don't, they'll go ahead and throw to home plate when you're standing right behind the pitcher's mound, so to speak.
And you got trouble.
And you got a lot of area out there that's vacant.
0-1 to Gary Ward. Top of the 5th. Yankees 2. Oakland nothing. New York trying to salvage 1 game of this 3-game series and snap a 3-game losing streak. Yanks have lost 9 of their last 12. Up high, 1-1. Fastball is popped up from the short right field. Bernazard back, gives way to Mike Davis, who makes the catch, and the Yankees go down. No runs, a Meacham base hit. New York leads 1. We come halfway. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It's the Yankees 2, the Oakland Athletics nothing.
Well, college football fans, Sports Channel is ready for you. We are proud to announce that many of the East major powerhouses, including Pitt, Army, Boston College, and Syracuse, along with national power Notre Dame, will be performing live and exclusively on Sports Channel Plus this fall. So join us for 10 straight weeks of great American independent football beginning September 12th only on Sports Channel Plus, available in most metro area cable systems.
Bottom of the 5th inning here in Oakland. And Rick Roden, who has been near perfect through the first 4. He has faced the minimum 12 batters, giving up a leadoff walk to Reggie Jackson in the 3rd inning. Jackson was doubled up on a line drive by Griffin. He will now face Mark McGwire, Dwayne Murphy, and Carney Lansford. McGwire a strikeout victim in his first at bat. Just a mean, clean cut. Took a little bit off that one.
We've talked about in the first couple of series in the season about how McGwire, even though he has to the eye a big looking swing, actually his swing is fairly short and compact. But because he's 6'5", 225 pounds, gives you the illusion that it's much bigger than it really is. Although right now I would say the first at bat and then this one right here, his swing is just a shade bigger than it has been. Maybe it's because he's a little tired or whatever it may be. But he sure has great mechanics with the left side going through the ball. Watch the left side move right here as he keeps the upper half back. Look at that head. You can just frame that in a little box right there. And the upper half is what that left side move through the ball is what gets him in that position.
That's ideally what you look for when you're swinging at the ball. You're pointing out there's a change up this one way outside. You're pointing out early in the year some of the Yankees were having problems. He was getting there,
hitting over their front hip. McGwire, that's the last thing he does.
No,
well, he stays behind it. And of course you can't stay behind it unless you get behind it. He gets behind the baseball.
2-2 to Mark McGwire, another one of the super group from our 1984 Olympic team.
Boy, that was a great shot on that replay of the swing right there. Showed everything staying right where it should be.
2 balls, 2 strikes here to McGwire. Leading off the bottom of the 5th, 2-0 Yankees. Got him. High, inside heat. McGwire a strikeout victim for a second time. Roden has his 5th K of the ball game.
Well, again, there's where that swing looking a little bigger than it has been. Here's just a fastball upstairs, and he just can't get on top of it.
One man out. Dwayne Murphy will step in. He too a strikeout victim back in the second inning. And he takes ball one. One and one. Got that outside corner. Lou Piniella, Mark Connor, the Yankee pitching coach. So far, they like what they see. Didn't go around, says third base umpire Don Denkinger. And the count 2-1. Murphy showing a lot more patience at the plate. He has walked now in 8 consecutive ball games. I think Sacramento wants a baseball team. He walks here. 9 straight games. Murphy's taking a base on ball. Second walk given up by Rick Rhoden.
The third baseman, Carney Lansford.
And only the second open base runner, and the dangerous Carney Lansford, who bounced to third in his first at-bat, steps in. 2-0 Yankees on 4 base hits. Oakland still looking for its first. One man out here in the 5th inning. Up high, 1-0.
Rick, fortunately, he missed with that one right there. He hung it and got away with it, as it was just too much out of the strike zone. California has come back to take a 3-1 lead over Toronto that game in the 5th inning. Down at the Big A. We mentioned earlier, in case you just joined us, the Tigers beat Cleveland 4-3. Milwaukee leading Kansas City 9-5 in the 8th inning. And Molitor, yes, he did get the hit.
Right here, a 2-0 lead, and Oakland trying to get something started against Rhoden. A's still looking for their first base hit, but a walk to Murphy with 1 out, and now 2-0 to Lansford. Coming over quickly is Gary Ward. Ball hit so hard that even with the deflection, Murphy unable to get further than second base. But Oakland has its first base hit of the ball game, and they will bring the go-ahead run to the plate.
We talked about Lansford in big spots in the ball game. Here he's got the count in his favor, 2-0. Looking for the heat, gets it, and I mean just tears it up, rips it right by Pags at third base. That was a tough out in big situations.
So with 1 man out, runners at first and second, Reggie Jackson, who took a base on balls in his first at bat, steps in. Ball 1. All game long, Rhoden has gotten ahead of the opposition. But he walks Murphy and falls behind Lance for 2-0, and it has cost him. First and second. Nobody, one man out.
Rhoden playing a little tease right here with 44. The one thing he cannot do is make a mistake with the off-speed pitch. If he makes a mistake right here, it's got to be because of the fastball.
1-1.
Reggie much more prone to take advantage of the off-speed mistake than he is the number one mistake, the heat.
Well, he just can't quite get the bat around as quick.
Not quite as quick. Well, hey, he's had a pretty good career.
He's hit a few. 5-6-3 to be exact. One ball, one strike to Reggie Jackson. High heat, 1-2.
Rhoden been pitching up out right on top of the strike zone with that fastball. He has 5 strikeouts thus far. And if you can stay right on top of the strike zone, you're in pretty good shape, because chances are if they hit it, it's going to be popped up.
He's ahead of Jackson, 1-2. He got him. Reggie North, too.
Good hard breaking ball right there from Rhoden. There's where the domino effect comes in, and one works off the other. Just a good hard slider.
And Rhoden has a 6th strikeout of the ball game. We are only in the 5th inning, and Rhoden's season high is 7. And with 2 men out, he's got Mickey Tettleton, who took a called 3rd strike in his first at bat. That off-speed breaking ball in for a strike.
In between the lollipop curveball and the slow curveball. Big motion by Rick. All of a sudden, whoops. Hello. That is a pretty good spot as well.
Tough to pull the trigger on that one. 0-1.
I'll tell you what, if you can pull the trigger on that one on the first pitch and in that bat, you're a pretty smart hitter.
Runners at first and second. Lansford leading from first. You saw Murphy down at second. There are 2 men out. Yankees lead by a score of 2-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A walk and a hit. Oakland's first base hit of the ball game. Again, high heat fouled back, 0-2.
He's certainly showing all our fans out there the difference today in pitching high in the strike zone versus pitching high on top of the strike zone. Boy, there is a big difference. When you stay right on top of that strike zone and you're getting an off-speed pitch over, I don't care which one it is, then you're not going to get hurt up there. But when you drop it down a little bit and get in that strike zone, then you're going to get hurt.
Just missed, 1-2. Goes flying. The ball is in Cerrone's glove. Strike 3 as Rhoden gets his 7th strikeout of the ball game. The A's go down. No runs, a base hit. They leave 2. And now through 5 innings of play, the Yankees 2, the A's nothing.
A reminder, next Monday at 7:30, the Yankees are back on Sports Channel to take on the Oakland A's at the stadium. So catch all the action. That's the Yanks and Oakland next Monday at 7:30 right here on Sports Channel, the official channel of the New York Fans.
And that's where we are right now. We're in Oakland. And we're going to the 6th inning. Yankees are leading it by a score of 2-0 on
New York.
just a marvelously beautiful day. And you really have to marvel at it, because normally this time of year you do not get weather like this in Northern California. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Go across the Golden Gate Bridge, you can actually see the whole bridge. No fog. And here's Mattingly. High into the air, center field to Dwayne Murphy. One man out. Mattingly had an infield hit, and it struck out in his previous 2 at-bats. So there's 1 man away here in the 6th inning.
Now batting third baseman Mike Pagliarulo.
Yankee third baseman Mike Pagliarulo fly deep to right and then struck out swinging. So he is 0 for 2.
Thanks had a couple of pretty good pitches to hit. He just missed that first one. Had a good fastball his last time up. The only difference was that Stewart just reached back and got a little extra when he struck out the side after the 2-run double by Washington. Right there, Stewart starts him off with a good all-speed pitch down and in.
Strike 2. A 2-run double by Washington came in the 3rd inning after Cerrone had singled. Meacham was hit by a pitch. And since then, the only Yankee base hit, a bloop single by Meacham in the 5th inning. 1-2. So it's 2-0 New York. Top of the 6th inning. Still 3-1 California over Toronto in the 5th, and Detroit beating Cleveland 4-3. 2-2. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Stewart has not walked the New York Yankee today. He has now.
Well, the big at-bat, so to speak, that got Stewart in trouble was hitting
Batter,
Meacham.
right fielder Dave Winfield.
That made it 1st and 2nd. Set the stage for the bases clearing double by Washington.
All of a sudden now it changes the attitude, so to speak, out there on the mound when you got men on 1st and 2nd. Nobody out. You got to be a little more careful. You can't get behind in the count to Claudel. He just ripped that double out there in the right center.
Dave Winfield, Yankee right fielder, is popped to short and lined to center field. Ball 1 outside corner, strike 1. Winfield has struggled at the plate since the All-Star game. Under 220 now. And his average is tipped off to 274. Pops this one up. Tony Lansky waits for it to come back. 2 men out.
Well, there's a difference in tightening up a big swing, as we've talked about earlier, and tightening up a tired swing. David's had some good pitches to hit, but he's had the big swing going for him.
Designated hitter Mike Easler.
He's had 2 good pitches to hit this game. First time up and then right there. And he was really upset with himself right here. Take another look right at Winfield. We'll have a chance to see his reaction after it's a good pitch for him to hit. But after that, he was really disgusted.
Here's Mike Easler, who's 0 for 2. Bounced twice to the right side. Strike 1. Once to McGuire, once to Bernazard. Yankees have won only 1 in 5 times here in Oakland this year. A's lead the series 6 games to 2. Pagliarulo not a threat to go. Michael has one stolen base. Winfield back in the Yankee bench. A little upset with himself about that pitch that he got under. 2-1. Two strikes.
There's that split-fingered fastball.
Bottom was falling out of it. His turn, Dave Stewart, from a so-so pitcher into a Cy Young Award candidate. And he strikes out Mike Easter to retire the side. For the Oakland A right-hander, his fifth strikeout of the ball game. For the Yankees, no runs, a walk. They leave one. We go to the bottom of the sixth. It is still 2-0 New York.
Well, you're looking at Rick Rhoden, who has just departed. Rick went out to take his warm-up tosses, threw a couple of pitches, all of a sudden walked off the mound, shot with Lou Piniella, tossed the baseball back out towards the pitcher's mound, and he is gone. Evidently, it could be something from that line drive that he took his last time out against Seattle. As we mentioned prior to the game, he said it was still a little stiff. So Rhoden is gone, and here comes a big right-hander, Tim Stoddard.
There is a change. Now pitching.
Oh, man.
When it rains, it pours, as they say.
He's shaking up that right arm just a little bit.
And he pitched so well. Yeah, he feels it up there. See him.
That's exactly where he was hit. And Rick showing me prior to the ball game the hemorrhaging that had gone. He said it was all right the first couple days after. In the last 2 days, it hemorrhaged pretty bad, and it was really black and blue up there. But Rhoden is gone. What a job he had done. Going 5 innings, giving up just 1 hit, 2 walks, had 7 strikeouts. There was never any kind of a jam with the exception of last inning. After 1 out, a walk to Murphy, a single by Lansford. Then he struck out Jackson and Tettleton.
And here is Stoddard coming out for his 45th appearance, an ERA of 3.44. He's given up only 62 hits in 70 2/3 innings. And Rick Rhoden, who can be the pitcher of record in this ballgame, only on the positive side. It is up to Stoddard.
That's too bad. For that big right-hander to get out of that ballgame, take himself out, he had to really be hurt. So you're not concerned right now so much with this one. His hope is just a temporary situation. If there is the soreness from that line drive that came back to bother him a shade, that he'll be back out there hopefully in his next start.
Lou Piniella talking with
Beleaguered.
Yeah, the beleaguered Lou Piniella with Jay Ward. A 2-0 Yankee lead. A marvelous performance by Rhoden, who had pitched no hit ball until the 5th inning, when Carney Lansford stroked the single. And now it'll be up to Tim Stoddard. Strange the way the fates developed the situation. Stoddard, of course, will get as much time as he needs to get ready. Yankees got their runs in the 3rd inning. A leadoff single by Cerrone. Meacham was hit by a pitch. Claudell Washington then doubled home the 2 Yankee runs. But since then, the Yankees have but 1 base hit off Dave Stewart. So Stewart has remained strong, and it'll be up to Stoddard to show whether or not he can have the kind of strength and consistency that Rick Rhoden turned in through the first 5.
Well, there comes a point where guys have got to stood up, or stand up, I should say, and be counted. You got yourself in a situation where the Tigers beating Cleveland today 4-3. Right now, as it stands, you're 4.5 back. Somebody's going to have to do something. Just watching Tony La Russa a while ago, he went over and talked to Alfredo Griffin and Tony Bernazard. And I would imagine what he's telling them, if you get on, we're going to run. But there you see the scoreboard. California leading Toronto 3-1 in the sixth. 10-5 now. Milwaukee leading Kansas City. That's in the ninth inning. And Molitor has at least one hit in that game to extend his hitting streak to 38. Mentioned the Tigers over the Indians 4-3. Baltimore leading Seattle 3-0 in the fifth. Later on, the White Sox take on the Rangers in Texas. And the Red Sox on the strength of Don Baylor's grand slam home run. That was his 16th home run of the year as they beat Minnesota 6-4. Also, Dwight Evans hit his 29th in that ball game. In the National League, the Mets over the Padres 9-2. The winner, Gooden. And McDowell picking up his 18th save. Howard Johnson, number 31. And Darryl Strawberry, also number 31, went deep in that game. 5-3, San Francisco beat Montreal. It was the Dodgers over the Phillies 5-1. Atlanta beat the Pirates 6-2. Houston over the Cubs at Wrigley Field 4-2. The winner, Heathcock. The loser, Sutcliffe. Sutcliffe now 15-6 on the season. And boy, a thumping as St. Louis. Let me see, 3, 8, 9, 12. 12-6. They beat Cincinnati in Cincinnati.
Reds having pitching problems. And here we go into the bottom of the sixth inning. Tim Stoddard will come on. Yankees holding on to a 2-0 lead. As we've given the score talk, they just changed one. Toronto came up with a run in the sixth, so it gets a little closer there. California's lead down to a singleton, 3-2. Alfredo Griffin will lead it off, and he takes ball one. Lined into a 6-6-3 double play in his first at bat as the A's played hit and run with Reggie Jackson aboard. Jackson easily doubled off first base. Again, shortening up the bunt. 1-1. Rulo in the grass. Mattingly, as you see, just about even with the bag. One ball, two strikes. Rulo. He's got Griffin for the first out. Stoddard came out in relief for Rodden in that ball game at Seattle after the Mariners had tied the ball game in that inning, in which Rodden had got hit in the shoulder. Looked like he'd get out of it, but Seattle came back to tie the game at 2. That was one of the strangest plays, I'll tell you. Line drive, ticketed for a base hit, gone up the middle, hits off Rodden's shoulder. I forget who was on first base, but he was nearly a third by the time Juan Bonilla caught the pop fly, which came off the shoulder and turned it into an easy double play. Amazing thing that Rodden was able to continue.
He's a gamer. As I said, for him to take himself out of the ball game, that thing had to really be hurting him. And that's what's the scary part about it.
Tony Bernazard, count goes 1-1. Bernazard robbed by Pagliarulo back in the first inning with a good stab going to his left and then struck out swinging. Stoddard couldn't get it. Velarde can, and he Mattingly can't hold on to it.
They're going to give him a base hit. But the play should have been made. There's no question about it. Ball not scorched by Bernazard. Catches it off the end of the bat. You'll see right there. Deflects, slowed up a little bit. Here's Velarde. He's got time. Just makes a bad throw.
So they rule it an infield hit. Stoddard will now have to face Mike Davis. Yankees lead 2-0. Davis has flied to center. He's bounced to Mattingly.
see what Bernazar wants to do after he had, as we mentioned, a little chat with Tony La Russa.
Bernazar's stolen 10 bases. He's been thrown out 7 times. Yankees holding on to a 2-0 lead. Mike Davis has been struggling at the plate. A 5 for a ball. You've got Jose Canseco on deck.
There's a lot of talent in this Oakland club.
Batting order you got.
I mean, there's a lot of talent.
You can't pitch around the Cansecos and then the McGuires. You got Lansford's coming up and people like that. Swing and strike, 1 and 2. Let's see if he sends Bernazard here and he gets thrown out. Might not give Canseco the opportunity to be the tying run at the plate. Well, let's see what Tony La Russa will do here.
I think for the most part it's up to Bernazar. I think he's given him more or less a green light in this situation. If you get the jump, go. If you don't, stay.
Stoddard trying to keep him there, keeping him close. Fastball by Stoddard, and Mike Davis becomes the second out here in the 6th inning.
Well, he just blew him away right here. Big man just reaches back and brings it on home. Davis overmatched on that one.
And with 2 men out, now Tim Stoddard has to pitch to Jose Canseco. They're flying to center and then pop to short center field. 2-0 Yankees. And a fastball in for a strike. 0-1. Just an incredible physical specimen, this young man. Jose Canseco. And another fastball naps the outside corner, 0-2.
He just painted the corner on him twice. There's a pitch that Stoddard has had when he's been successful this year. He's had great command of. Right there. Jose may have had a beat with home plate umpire Dale Scott.
So an 0-2 coming. Try to do it again. Missed outside. 1-2.
I don't know why he wouldn't. Stay out there. Can't throw him anything from the middle end strike. You're going to try to get in there. You got to miss him deep.
Can he physically take that outside pitch over the right field wall? Certainly can.
Yes. In a hurry.
So you got to be careful.
But he's least likely to take that one. I'll tell you, 2 years ago at Comiskey Park, I saw him do something I don't know if anybody will ever do, and this was a batting practice. In 2 consecutive pitches, he went on the roof in left center field, and the next pitch he went on the roof in right center field.
Cat goes full. 3-2. Again, as we were saying, you can't pitch around this man because the fellow who followed was a man named Mark McGwire.
Well, you don't want to in a situation, even though McGwire has not been swinging the bat anywhere near as well as Canseco. Canseco, since the All-Star game, 39 RBIs, and that's encompassing 36 games. But he threw in the breaking ball right there on 2-2. I'd throw it to him right here again on 3-2.
Let's see. Full count. He gave him a fastball, and he popped it up. Mattingly drifts over.
Got him in a good spot.
And he puts it away. So Stoddard gets away with the fastball and gets Canseco to pop up to Mattingly. And out of the jam get the Yankees. No runs, a base hit, one man left. We'll go to the top of the 7th. Yankees 2, Oakland nothing.
Well, tomorrow at 7:30, the Dodgers come to Shea to take on the Mets. So catch all the action. That's the Dodgers and Mets tomorrow at 7:30 right here on Sports Channel, the official channel of the New York Fan.
Hey, we've got a good one here. Good pitchers duel. Yankees leading it 2-0 as we go to the 7th inning. And leading it off for New York, the rookie shortstop, Randy Velarde, who's 0 for 2, bounced to third, bounced to short. And Dave Stewart, his first pitch is fouled just below a strike 1. Yankees with 2 runs in the 3rd, a leadoff single by Cerrone. Meacham was hit by a pitch. Claudell Washington doubled both of them home. Since then, only 2 base runners for New York. A bloop single by Meacham in the 5th, and Pau Rulo with a base on balls in the 6th. Breaking ball hangs inside, 2-1. Three and 1 to Randy Velarde. Strike 2, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That brought a few blue caps out of that dugout. And it should have.
Down a little low. The 3-2 pitch coming to the youngster. Takes on the outside corner, strike 3 call.
Now batting,
6 strikeouts for Dave Stewart.
Well, he caught the break from the umpire the previous pitch. There he comes back with a fastball that just did have the outside corner.
So Velarde retired. And with 1 out, Rick Cerrone got it started for the Yankees in the 3rd inning with a single to left, a rocket shot. After Meacham walked, they both scored on the double by Washington. He's 1 for 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Cerrone broke his back in that check swing. Dave Stewart looking for his 5th victory this month. Laid off that one. 1 and 2.
When you analyze the Oakland staff with Rijo not coming through for him, Andujar not coming through for him, they needed the big guy. Stewart has provided that. As we mentioned, coming into the day, he'd worked 188 innings so far this year. As that's right by Lansford, right down the line. Canseco gets over there. He's got a good arm. Here goes Cerrone to second base. High throw. He's in there.
Second base hit of the ball game for Rick Cerrone. 5th one of the ball game for the Yankees. Cerrone has been getting around on Mr. Stewart this afternoon.
Well, there's that fork ball. He hung right there. He just ripped that one right by Carney. We talked about Lansford's range on the pop-ups. His range is fairly limited on the ground balls. Carney will spend a lot of time on the ground. He'll take a step and a half and dive. He spends a lot of time in that dirt.
So there is Cerrone down at second. Only 1 man out. Yankees with a 2-0 lead, and Bobby Meacham at the plate. Now, we've talked also a lot this year about how Lou Piniella has manipulated the Yankee staff and kept the Yankees in the thick of things. Tony La Russa has done the same thing with his staff here in Oakland. Oakland. Losing Haas, losing Andujar. Trying to do a little zigging and zagging also.
They have.
And there's a solid base hit by Meacham. Cerrone going to hold at third. No way he's going to test Dick Canseco's on. But Bobby Meacham lines a solid hit to left, his second of the ball game. And the Yankees have runners at the corners with one man away.
Meacham just gets a fastball, turns on it. And Cerrone, of course, with the one out, having to hold a second base to make sure the ball got by Lansford. He wasn't going to score anyway. He's been running.
Tony La Russa comes out of the dugout, and Dave Leeper gets up down on the bullpen, the left-hander. Yankees lead 2-0 here in the 7th, and looking for more with only one man out in the top of the order. Set to come on. Left-handed swingers Washington, followed by right-handed hitting Ward, and then Mattingly.
Well, Oakland made an excellent deal with the White Sox, coming up with Gene Nelson, who is a swing man. He can do everything. In fact, they've got a couple of guys now on that staff, Dennis Lamp, but primarily Gene Nelson. Nelson, of course, with a good effort yesterday and beating the Yankees 6-3, 2.74 ERA, and he's worked almost 100 innings this year. He also picked up a couple of saves, but Nelson's one of those swing guys out there that every club needs. But the big thing on this staff is Nelson, check that, is Stewart has given them the innings that they have really needed.
Had a good deal getting Dennis Eckersley.
Eck's done a good job for him.
Done a real good job.
So they've had a situation here. They made some good pickups. They made a good deal, as I mentioned, in acquiring Nelson.
Waddell Washington was bounced to second, doubled home the game's only 2 runs in the 3rd inning, and struck out. 2-0 Yankees. And it's fouled away. No balls, 2 strikes.
California got that run back. They lead Toronto 4-2 in the 6th.
Yankees trying to snap a 3-game losing streak here this afternoon. Meacham out at first. Rick Cerrone leading from third. Waddell pops a foul out of play one more time.
You talked about Oakland and New York having to zig and zag. Every contender this year has had to zig and zag with their pitching staff. I would say if there's a solid staff right now, probably the most solid staff in the American League right now. Look at Detroit.
Yeah,
they're solid.
Outside, 1-2. Morris, Banana, Terrell. Eric King out of the bullpen. The youngster Mike Henneman's done a job for him.
They're deep.
Alexander now getting him some inning. As you said, that's going to be the key. How many innings did you give him?
He'll give him innings. No question about that. Give him innings to the point that almost every time he goes out there, they have a real good chance of winning that ball game.
1-2 to Waddell Washington. And a pitch up high, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men on, 1 man out. Top of the 7th. 2-0 Yankees. Strike through call. Big strikeout for Dave Stewart. His 7th of the ball game.
He gave Waddell a couple of pretty good pitches to hit. Here he comes with a split-fingered fastball, this time a hard one. Got it upstairs, and Waddell just couldn't pull the trigger on it.
So with 2 men out, it'll be up to Gary Ward. Yankees leading 2-0. An opportunity to grab some insurance here in the 7th. And it rests now on the shoulders of Gary Ward. Ball one. Fastball back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ward 0 for 3 today. Fly to right twice and struck out. 2 men on, 2 men out. A 2-0 Yankee lead. Foul back again. Quickly, Stewart has gotten ahead of Ward. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Got decent speed at first base in Meacham. A guy who does take a while, even though he has a good throwing arm in Tettleton, it takes a while to unload it to second base. But you don't have a whole bunch of speed over third.
A 1-2 pitch to Ward, high and inside. Ball 2. 2-2. Ward trying to snap out of an 0 for 14 drop. He has had big hits for the Yankees this year. And he hits this one high into the air, right field. He will not get a big hit here. Mike Davis is there. Yankees go down. No run. 2 base hits. They leave runners at first and third. 7th inning stretch time here for the home folks in Oakland, with the Yankees leading 2-0.
As a reminder, Sports Channel is looking for the top 10 best sports bars in the New York metro area. Places where you fans flock to watch your favorite New York teams in action on Sports Channel. So if you think your hangout is one of the 10 best, just in the name of the bar to Sports Channel's Best Sports Bar Contest. P.O. Box 234, Woodbury, New York, 11797. And Sports Channel will be profiling the top 10 bars all summer long, and they'll name the #1 sports bar.
Mark McGwire to lead it off here for the Oakland A's. He is struck out on both occasions, but the man who K'd him both times is no longer on the mound. Rick Rhoden leaving the ball game after coming out for the 6th inning and apparently experiencing some stiffness up in the shoulder area. That line drive, he was hit off the bat of Harold Reynolds in his last start in Seattle. And Tim Stoddard came on, gave up an infield hit in the 6th inning before retiring the side. And a fastball in for a strike.
I sure hope it was just stiffness rather than pain up there. Rhoden seemed to be in one of those grooves today. He could have pitched for 2 days.
He had it all.
Just overmatching a good, solid, open offense.
1-2. We'll get the word from Yankee trainer Gene Monahan. As soon as we do, we will pass it on to you, if we can get it before the end of the ball game. But a good 1-hit, 5-inning effort by Rhoden, and Tim Stoddard has struck out Mark McGwire. For Stoddard, his 2nd strikeout, 3rd time McGwire has K'd today.
Now, we talked about, there's no question that McGwire's swing is bigger now than it was the first 4 times we saw him. And it has a tired-looking swing to it as well.
He is struggling a bit. Shortening up the bunt is Dwayne Murphy. It takes ball 1. Murphy is struck out. He's taken a base on ball. Yankees with a 2-0 lead here on the bottom of the 7th. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for New York. No runs, 2 hits, errorless baseball for the Athletics. At the outside corner, 1-1.
Certainly understandable in McGwire's case, the emotional level that he has been at the most of the year since he got into that situation with all the home runs, finally breaking the rookie home run mark, major league home run mark. Those things will take their toll. There's no question about that.
Holding news conferences every day. Didn't go around, says third base umpire Deckerby. And the count 2-2.
Oh, Marcus.
This is high and deep to right field. Winfield back on the warning track. Leaps and he got it. What a play by Dave Winfield. Taking a home run away from Dwayne Murphy and keeping the A's off the board.
I don't know if David saw this ball when it left the bat. There was a fastball right there, belt high for Murphy. See, he didn't look like he picked it up well at all. Bad jump. Now has plenty of time because of the height of it. And just goes up and indeed brings it back into the park. Boy, there's a hell of a timing play right there. He timed that one perfectly.
So there are 2 men out. And here's Lansford, who takes ball 1. So the Yankee lead is still 2. 2 runs for New York, 0 for Oakland. Lansford has bounced to third. He is single. Was the first base hit of the ball game for the A's. He rifles this one foul. 1-1. Roden retired the first 6 days. Gave up a walk in the third to Jackson. He was erased on a double play. Retired the side in the 4th. In the 5th, his only difficult inning, but he struck out the side as Jay Howell gets up in the Oakland bullpen. Roden gave up a walk and a single, but then came out for the 6th and left the ball game. 2-1 now to Carney Lansford. Reggie Jackson in the on-deck circle with Lansford at the plate, and the Yankees holding a 2-run lead. Full count, 3-2.
Can't try to get too fine right here. You got yourself a 2-0 ball game. I don't care what the story is. I don't care how old he is or how bad he's was swinging the bat. Reggie's still on deck.
Check swing. Stoddard will tag Lansford out, coming down the line to retire the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Tim Stoddard. And the A's go down easily only because of this play by Dave Winfield off Dwayne Murphy, which kept it from being a 2-1 ball game. Instead, after 7, it's the Yankees 2, Oakland nothing. '25-year-old left-hander Dave Leeper from Riverside, California, will take the mound here for the Oakland A's. We go to the 8th inning. Leeper coming into the ball game to make appearance number 42 with an ERA of 3.24, and the first pitch to Mattingly is ball 1.
Leeper's not overpowering. Give you a little of this, a little of that, and he'll throw some strikes.
Mattingly takes ball 2. Dave Stewart, the line on him, good enough to win most ball games. He went 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, struck out 7. But leaves in the short end of a 2-0 count. The shortstop, Alfredo Griffith, throws Mattingly out. Mattingly 1 for 4 in the ball game, had an infield hit back in the first inning. Mike Pagliarulo stepping in.
As we mentioned, one of the big plays for Dave Stewart in that ball game was hitting Bobby Meacham. After Cerrone had led off with that single in the 3rd inning, he hit Meacham, 2-2 fastball. As Pags hits an easy little ground hugger down there to McGuire, and quickly 2 gone.
Instead of getting the 9th place man out and having 2 out and a man on, there's a reaction of Winfield as he comes into the dugout after taking that home run away from Dwayne Murphy. Instead, back in that third inning, they were then first and second with nobody out. And Claudell Washington doubled home. The game's only 2 runs. And there's Winfield coming to the plate.
And LaRussa's going to make a pitching change right here. You get Leeper in there to face Mattingly and Pagliarulo. So the southpaw does his job, and it'll bring in the right-hander Jay Howell.
So Winfield at the plate today, 0 for 3. But rather perfect out in right field.
For Oakland, number 50, Jay Howell.
Yep. When you're not going to knock in some runs, you got to try to throw a little leather and save some. And indeed, he did save one right there.
Now Winfield will have to face the right-handed throwing Jay Howell, who comes on with a record of 3 and 4, a 5.65 ERA, 16 saves. And he got one of them on Friday night, getting the final out in the 6-4 victory for Steve Olivares. He has had physical problems, but the fans here in Oakland
Thought you were going to continue that.
What?
Physical problems?
He has had physical
Mental
problems.
problems? That's what it sounded like you were going to say.
No, to say
I was
the
getting ready to say, I'd heard about those.
fans, no, the mental problems. I don't know about any mental problems for Jay. The physical problems. But mentally, it would bother me if I were Jay Howell, having the physical problems and the way the crowd here in Oakland has really gotten on his back.
Yeah, they've been hooting on him pretty good.
Pretty heavy.
Howell, the leader, 16 saves on this staff. Fastball, curveball. And when he's healthy, he can rush it up there in a hurry. But in the 43 innings of work this year, he's given up 45 hits, 21 walks. That's been one of the keys to his having some problems out on the mound. 21 walks in 43 innings. And of course, that's only part of the story. Usually when a guy's walking that many, he doesn't tell you the ones he doesn't. When he's going 2-0, 3-1, 3-2 on guys. Good ability.
Back early in the year when he was hurting a bit, made 2 appearances against the Yankees, both of them here in Oakland, and the Yankees really clubbed him around. In the inning, gave up 3 hits. Gary Ward had a home run. And then in another inning, he gave up 2 hits, 3 runs. Pagliarulo had a home run off.
And in another inning he worked. It didn't show it in the box score. I mean, there were 3 rockets hit.
Right. He dodged a little bit of lightning in that one. So here is Winfield, and the breaking ball is in for a strike. Yankees leading 2-0 as we play the top of the 8th inning. There are 2 men out. Howell on for Leeper, who got the first 2 left-handed batters. And fouled straight back to the screen. Quickly, Jay Howell ahead of Dave Winfield, 0-2. Howell, a former Yankee, 31 years of age, 6'3", 205 pounds, from Miami, Florida. 29 saves in 1985, 16 last year, already 16 this season. Mike Ferraro coaching down the lines at third.
David got a hanger right there and couldn't do anything with it. Checking that Toronto score in the 7th inning now at California. Angels leading 4-2. Tigers beat Cleveland 4-3 at Municipal Stadium.
There's a ball. Milwaukee with a win, and Paul Molitor, yes indeed, 38 in a row. This 87 season started with all sorts of excitement around Milwaukee. Could finish with all sorts of excitement around Milwaukee. Strike 3 call. Winfield doesn't like it. Just nothing to Dale Scott. He's not going to win this one. And the side retired. 1-2-3 here on the top half of the 8th inning. Through 7.5. Still 2-0 New York.
It's the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Oakland no runs, 2 hits, no errors. And Big Dave Winfield just called out on the strikes. Had a little beef with home plate umpire. Now look at Tettleton. He's setting up outside, has to move outside with a glove, and indeed big man didn't even think or consider that was going to be call strike 3, but Scott rung him up. As a reminder, Yankees are pleased to continue to make available alcohol-free seating at Yankee Stadium. So if you want to buy those tickets in advance, they are $10, and you can mail your. Excuse me one second, I'm just looking at one thing. Okay, you can mail your order to alcohol-free seating, Yankee Stadium, Bronx, New York, 10451. And please add $1.25 per order for postage and handling. So for further information, just dial 212-293-6000. Looking to see if David right there is going to get in any more trouble.
Bottom of the 8th inning. Tim Stoddard will pitch here to Reggie Jackson.
Calm down a little bit.
And Alfredo Griffin. Reggie's 0 for 1. He's walked and struck out. Stoddard now into his 3rd inning. He has given up only 1 base hit. He has struck out 2. The base hit was an infield hit by Bernazard on a play that should have been made. Right to Meacham, who keeps it in front of him and throws Reggie out. Hard hit ball. Meacham did what he had to do, kept the ball out in front of his body.
You got to do it, and you know it's going to hurt. Chances are when you approach this rocket hit by Reggie, and you're playing second base, you know it's going to come up and get you in the chest. You've got to stand there, and it will sting for a while. Boy, that ball was scalding.
A good play by Meacham to keep it from becoming a base hit. So 1 man out. Now we'll get a pinch hitter now for Mickey Tettleton. Little Luis Polonia. There's not a lot of excitement here. With only 5 feet 8. He was called up when Murphy was injured earlier in the season. He's hitting at 293 with 3 home runs, 41 RBI. Since Murphy's come back, there is no question defensively, Murphy is far superior.
Little man has like Harry Houdini against the Yankees.
Yes,
this year. Hitting at .444, 8 for 18.
21 years of age. Tim Stoddard pitched him with 1 out here in the 8th inning. 2-0 Yankees. Fouled away. Stoddard continues to get ahead of the batters.
That was one of the unique things about Polonia. Earlier on in the year, the Oakland people were more or less raving about his defense.
Now
all of a sudden, until he had to play defensively. Of course, he can swing the bat.
Strikes out here.
That's the first bad swing we've seen him take.
There's 2 men out. 3rd strikeout for Stoddard. Fastball just kind of tailed away from Polonia. So with 2 outs, Stoddard will now face the A's shortstop Alfredo Griffin. They lined into a double play and then bounced out to 3rd. Dangerous man, Alfredo Griffin. Hitting at 269. With a couple of home runs this week. He is also not known as a long ball threat. It gives him 3 for the season. Strikes this one to center field. Washington was playing him shallow. He's fighting that sun. Makes the catch. 1, 2, 3. Oakland goes down. Tim Stoddard has turned in 3 innings of 1-hit shutout relief. We'll go to the 9th with the Yankees leading 2-0. Lou Piniella's Yankees are leading the A's by a score of 2-0. The Yanks trying to snap a 3-game losing streak, salvage 1 game of this set here in Oakland before heading on to Anaheim to take on the Angels for 2. It'll be Tommy John against Don Sutton tomorrow. Dennis Rasmussen against John Candelaria on Tuesday. And into the 9th inning we go. Mike Easler, Randy Velarde, and Rick Cerrone will step to the plate against Jay Howell. Dave Stewart won 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs. Dave Leeper came on in the 8th to pitch to the two left-handers, Mattingly and Pau DiRullo. After he got them, Howell came on to strike out Winfield. And now Howell will face Easler, Velarde, and Cerrone. Strike one. Easler 0 for 3. Bounced to first, bounced to second, struck out. Yankees will be home later this week against Seattle. Home sweet home for the Yankees, who are 31 and 35 on the road. At home, the Yanks 38 and 19. But you don't count Minnesota. That's the best in the American League. And you might have to put an asterisk next to those teams that play in those indoor facilities. Those arenas, those baseball arenas. 1 and 2. Down and in. 2 and 2.
Pretty good curveball right there by Jay Howell. As we mentioned, Dale Scott on the fastball. We call Winfield out on. He's been consistent out there for both sides. It just hasn't been one way today. He's had a wide strike zone. Check it out here. 7, 7, 14. 17 strikeouts in this ball game. 18 strikeouts in this ball game.
Roden getting 7 in 5 innings, and then that equaled his season high. He was getting that outside pitch, outside fastball, tailing away from the left-handed batter. Nobody's going to get this one, although it will drop in the playing area.
Well, that's the thing about the umpires with the wide strike zones. That's when you see a lot of strikeouts. It's not so much the guys who have a tall strike zone as far as high-low. But boy, when they open that plate up and they give a couple inches on the outside, a couple inches on the inside, that's when you see a lot of guys rung up during a ball game.
That's tougher to protect.
You can't. It's tough enough
just
to
so
protect
long.
what you can handle.
Full count here to Easler, leading it off in the 9th inning of a 2-0 New York lead. Jay Howell. And this is rocked deep to right field. Davis will look up, say goodbye, home run for Mike Easler. As the Yankees put a little insurance on the board, Mike Easler with his second New York home run, snapping an 0 for 13 streak. Big run on the board as the Yankees lead it 3-0. Yes, indeed, another Nestle's crunch.
Just gets a fastball from Jay Howell. He didn't miss this one. Michael fighting off a couple of seemingly tough pitches up there. Finally gets one right there just above the belt. You see that real high finish. He knows it's downtown. And Howell just straight on that one. Put it on the board. Good to see Michael crank one out of here. The other one coming in Texas. This one in Oakland.
So it is now a 3-0 ball game, and Randy Velarde, the Yankee shortstop, steps in, takes ball 1. He's 0 for 3. Bounced out twice. Took a called third strike in the 7th inning. Mike Easler. Lansford on the in-between out, throws Velarde out for the first out.
The batter, catcher Rick Cerrone.
No activity in the Yankee bullpen. Stoddard will come out to pitch tonight, and he will have to face the top of the Oakland batting order. Switch hitting Tony Bernazard, Mike Davis, and then Jose Canseco. Ball 1 to Cerrone. And a good afternoon for Cerrone. He singled in the 3rd inning. and then came around to score after Meacham was hit by a pitch on Washington's double, the only 2 runs in the ball game, then doubled, and now has a base hit taken away from him by Carney Lansford. So a 2-for-4 afternoon for Cerrone, one that could have been 3-for-4 if not for Mr. Lansford.
Nice play by Carney. Again, you'll see a step and a half. There he goes into that dive. He spends more time on the ground than any third baseman in this league. What you call a track third baseman, but he has good hands. You hit it in his track area, he's going to get you. Here's the guy that's had a heck of a day right here, is Bobby Meacham.
Perfect. Hit by a pitch. You say the key at bat in this ball game after Cerrone's single, a 2-2 fastball, and then Washington drove both of them home. Bobby looped the single to right, stole second, and lined a single to left. It was 2 for 2.
And he made an excellent play on Jackson. Jackson leading off the 8th inning. The leadoff man is so big in these ball games. Ball was ripped by Reggie. He just stood there and took it off the chest.
Fouls this one away. Bobby has upped his average now up to 260. Inside the bag, this will be 2 bases. Meacham rounds first. He's on his way to second. Canseco up with it. Does not even bother to throw. Third base hit of the ball game for Meacham. Comes with 2 outs here on the 9th inning. So he got an inside the bag past Lansford and a runner in scoring position for New York.
Here he just gets a rolling curveball from Howell. So he mentioned when he came in, he's a little short on his fastball, doesn't have the real quick breaking curve that he normally has. So he evidently, Jay Howell is not anywhere near 100% yet.
3-0 New York. Claudell Washington, who drove home the first 2 Yankee runs, takes a fastball for a strike. Washington 1 for 4 this afternoon, but that double in the 3rd inning. He really rocked it off the base of the right center field wall up the gap. 1-1. Ball, 2 strikes.
Still 4-2 California over Toronto. The game now in the 8th inning.
Foul away. If Toronto lose that ball game, they would drop a game and a half behind Detroit. Yankees would remain 4 behind should they hold on and win this one. To pick up a game on the Blue Jays.
Hello.
A jam, but it's a base hit, and Meacham rounds third. He will score easily. Give Washington another RBI. His third of the ball game, but another one on the board for the New York Yankees, who now lead it by a score of 4-0.
This little duck snort out there into left center field. Meanwhile, tally time.
Meacham scoring his 2nd run of the ball game. Washington now at 3 RBIs. And here is Gary Ward to step in. He is 0 for 4. He's flied to right field 3 times and struck out.
Hey, guy. Oh, he threw it away. And he picked off and threw it away.
Washington's going to go all the way to 3rd base. McGuire picks it up, and Washington strolls in standing as McGuire races the ball back to the infield. Howell had him all the way. Instead, the 2-base error charged to the pitcher.
Claudell was going to get a pretty good jump right there. I mean, he was off and running.
Whoops.
And Howell just threw it right into the dirt.
Claudell kind of had that look as he started coming over first base of like, whoops, you got me. I've been caught. But instead he's at 3rd base. And Ward fouls the pitch back. strike one. 2 runs in for the Yankees here in the ninth. They lead 4-0. 4 runs, 9 hits for New York. How good a shutout pitching job thus far for the Yankees. No runs, 2 hits for Oakland. 1 hit given up by Roden through 5. 1 hit through the next 3 by Stoddard. This is deep but playable to Davis. Sides retired. But 2 more on the board for the Yankees. 1 on an Eastler home run, 3 base hits. There was an Oakland error. And now we'll go to the bottom half of the ninth inning with the Yankees leading by a score of 4-0. Here we go, bottom half of the ninth inning. It'll be up to Tim Stoddard to try and preserve victory number 15 for the Yankee right-hander Rick Roden. And Stoddard, who came out in the 6th inning, has limited the A's to just 1 base hit through 3 innings of pitching. He's looking for a 6th save of the year. And he will have to face the top of the order, Tony Bernazard, who has one of the base hits, an infield hit off Stoddard on a ball that the Yankees could have made the play on. First Stoddard on the ball that was hit right up the middle. He was unable to play it. Velarde then made the play, and his throw was a little bit wide. But Mattingly might have made the play at first base.
No, Donnie didn't have a chance. Velarde should have made the play. The ball was slowed up off the glove of Stoddard.
Foul back. 0-2. Base hit earlier in the ball game by Carney Lansford. While it was a clean base hit, it was the one kind of hit that you come to expect Mike Pagliarulo to take away from the opposition. Getting up in the bullpen, a just-in-case situation.
Well, that 2-0 fastball that Lansford had, he just ripped it right by Fag.
One and 2. Boy, Pagliarulo's been playing third base. You kind of get a little spoiled to come up with near impossible ones. He made a good one off Bernazard in the first inning.
Yeah, that was an excellent play.
2-2. But amidst the potential stamping of the losing streak, we have not received a report yet on the spare strike 3. Number 4 for Stoddard. We have not received a report on the physical addition of Rick Roden.
As it turns out, that's the key story to this ball game, is just what the condition is that high heater right there, right on by Bernazard. You have to think right at this particular time, though, that it's probably just a combination of the line drive in his last start off the just above the bicep area, right underneath the shoulder on the right arm. And it just tightened up on him, hopefully.
Mike Davis takes a strike. He's 0 for 3. Yankees with 2 runs in the 3rd. Washington drove him home with a double. An Eastler homer in the 9th. And an RBI single by Washington also in the 9th. 1-1 for a 4-0 lead. Fouled away. 1-2. Stoddard has gone to 3 balls on only 1 batter. That was Lansford in the 7th inning, and then he got him to tap to the mound. Tim has been out in front consistently.
He's had the good command of that fastball on the outside part of the plate. Plus, we mentioned Dale Scott with a wide strike zone today for both sides. And that sure doesn't hurt any.
11 strikeouts for the Yankee pitchers, 7 for Roden, 4 for Stoddard.
Plus, both Roden and Stoddard have pitched up on top of that strike zone with a fastball. They've had some help from the Oakland hitters. They just couldn't lay off of it, and they just couldn't get on top of it. Roden gave a clinic today out there on how to pitch just on top of that strike zone. But that was after he got the curveball over. Had good command of the curveball, changed speeds on it, and that set the fastball up.
It's pretty good one.
It was nice to watch.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And again, the high heat, strike 3 swing. Stoddard picks up a spit. Mike Davis goes down for a second time, and there are 2 men out here in the 9th inning.
There it is, right on top of the strike zone.
So with 2 men out, Jose Canseco becomes the last hope for the Oakland A's. He is flying to center twice and popped up to Mattingly. It was a big out in the 6th inning. Stoddard had come on. It was 2-0. With 1 out, an infield hit by Bernazard. Then he struck out Davis. Here's Canseco with a chance to tie this ball game up. And the count ran full 3-2, and they got him to pop to Mattingly. And he threw him a fastball. That's fouled straight back, 0-2. Smile on Lou Piniella's face.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been a while, Lou.
Those have been few and far between.
Been breaking a big, wide grin.
As we talked about, though, Pards, you know, you're only going to look as good as your starting pitching. That's all. Your starting pitching looks good, you look good. If it's mediocre, you're mediocre. If it's bad, you're going to look bad.
Oh, that's the ball game, folks. Took a little bit off that slow curveball and strikes out the side. Does Stoddard here in the 9th inning to wind up with 6 for the ball game as the A's go down 1-2-3 here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. So the final score here in Oakland, the Yankees 4, the Oakland A's nothing, and we'll get back right after this. Spencer Ross, Ken Harrelson back here in Oakland, California, where the Yanks have beaten the A's in the final game of this 3-game series, winning it by a score of 4-0. What a masterful pitching job. A combination. Rick Rhoden, 5 innings of 1-hit ball. Tim Stoddard finishes up with 4 innings of 1-hit ball. And how about Waddell Washington? Big afternoon for him, Ken Harrelson.
Drove in 3 runs, had that big 3rd-inning double off Dave Stewart, but I'll tell you, it was just a good, solid effort, as you mentioned. Rhoden, prior to leading the game in the top of the 6th inning, when he experienced some soreness or pain, we don't know which one yet, right here in this area, right above the bicep, right below the shoulder where he was hit by that line drive. He was just masterful out there. Put a clinic on. Tim Stoddard coming in doing an outstanding job. Bobby Meacham having a very solid afternoon. Rick Cerrone doing a good job. But it was Waddell Washington, that big 2-run double off Dave Stewart. And that was after Cerrone let it off with a single. And the big at-bat, as it turned out in this ball game, was 2-2. Bobby Meacham got hit. So now you got men on 1st and 2nd. And there it looked like Stewart hung him a split-fingered fastball. But again, the thing was set up by Meacham being hit by the pitch. All of a sudden, Stewart has 2 men on, nobody out. He can't get deep in the count. And here comes Cerrone. Boy, he is chugging and lugging around 3rd base. Meacham right on his butt. He scores 2-0. Dave Winfield, watch the play right here off the bat of Dwayne Murphy. Dave had a couple of good pitches to hit, popped them up, but right here he's going to save a run by timing this perfectly. As a beautifully executed timing jump, timing play by Winfield. And then the home run by Mike Easler off Jay Howell. Got the fastball. He didn't miss it. Michael put it up there for his 2nd home run this season in the Yankee uniform. That made it 3-0. And Claudel came up. This one hit that hard. A little duck snort out there into left center field. But Bobby Meacham, who had just doubled, is on 2nd base. That'll take care of all of scoring 4-0. Yankees break this 3-game losing streak, and it'll be a lot nicer plane ride down to the Big A in Anaheim, where they will take on the Angels in the first of a brief 2-game set.
Well, the Yankees remain 4 games behind the first place Detroit Tigers have won today, but the last we have heard from Anaheim was California leading Toronto 4-2 with that ball game in the 8th inning, and the Yankees will head to Anaheim tomorrow to take on the Angels. Tommy John to go against Don Sutton. always nice to take one in a series. I mean, if the Yankees come out of here dropping 3 in a row, I'll tell you,
Well,
we saw a smile on Lou Piniella's face. Would have been a while before we saw Lou break a grin.
I like that logic. You're right. It is nice to take one. If you don't, you're going to get swept.
You got to take one. You got to take one, and the Yankees at least salvaged that, and also snapped the losing streak, which was 3. And of course, the Yankees. There's a smile on Lou Piniella. Why not? You win a ball game, and it's something the Yankees have not done too frequently in the recent weeks. So the final line score of this ball game: the Yankees 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left 7 men aboard. The A's no runs, 2 hits. They played errorless baseball. 3 men left. Rick Rhoden the winner. He's now won 15. He's lost 8. And Dave Stewart the loser. His record drops to 17-9. Give Tim Stoddard the very impressive save with 4 innings of 1 hit relief, his 6th of the season. So once again, the final score.